Universe, welcome. This is Dr. Davey Johnson, and you're about to listen to Home Zone number 9, featuring Randy LIedtke and myself, as Brendon Walsh was out doing what Brendon Walsh does. Hope you enjoy it. I think you will. If you do like what you hear and you're very awesome, please visit www.bonezonepodcast.com. That's where you can find us on the wwws. And you can do a lot of things there. You can donate if you like. To help us pay for some of this expensive equipment. You can also check out links to our Twitters, and you can also see our Amazon wish list. There's a link to that also there. So please enjoy, and that is all.
Hello. Keep it going?
No. Keep thinking about all those wonderful experiences you've had in your life as you're drifting off to sleep here on the Home Zone.
This is not a dream. This is reality.
This is reality.
My name is Randy.
This is Davey.
And you are not dreaming.
Well, maybe you are. Maybe reality is nothing but a dream.
I've heard that.
Are we just the dream of a superior being out there somewhere?
This could be true.
I'd like to think that I'm part of someone's restful sleep.
All right, spoiler.
What?
This is a dream.
It is?
Well, not to us.
Oh.
Our listeners' dreams,
Have just come true.
they're our reality.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Our reality is their dream.
Yep.
It's
We are
like
just a figment of your imagination.
we don't exist. Except to ourselves.
Yeah, we live in your brain.
We're inside there.
Yeah.
We're we're crawling in your ears right now.
I jerked off in your brain, bro.
I just farted right next to your eyeball from the inside.
That's what migraines are.
Yep, migraines are just eyeball farts from the inside. From tiny little podcasters.
Yeah. What if...
Close your right eye.
Me?
No, the person at home.
Oh, okay.
Randy exists behind your left eye, so Randy can see out.
Oh, yeah. I can only see out of your left eye, though.
What do you see?
Nothing. My eyes are closed. Should I open them?
No, you keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
You see, Randy can't see even if your eye's open because he's got his eyes closed, even though he's behind that eye.
I only open my eyes when you close your eyes. So it doesn't work.
Yeah. We put graffiti all over your eyelids, yo.
Oh, shit. And it's just for us.
Yep.
The inside of your eyelids is like my fucking locker. I got fucking posters of ladies.
Yeah, I got jagged guitar posters, Ferraris.
So even if you're like a real good Christian, it doesn't matter because on the inside of your eyelids, Randy wrote, check out this hot slut, and it's a picture of Pamela Anderson's boobs.
Yeah. With a little bit of marker on the bottom that says hot beef injection, an arrow pointing to her butthole.
Dude, that crossed the line.
What?
JK.
Yeah.
Okay, spoiler alert. This is not a dream.
No. It's
There's an ice cream truck outside.
Oh yeah, if you can hear, there's an ice cream truck. We're broadcasting. This is a Home Zone subsidiary of the Bone Zone, broadcasting from Randy LIedtke's apartment here in beautiful Koreatown. Or wait, is this Koreatown still? It's not Koreatown proper anymore.
No, it is, but it's also a little Bangladesh.
So it's a suburb of a suburb?
No, it's like Los Angeles is part of Los Angeles County.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a perfect comparison, but the boundaries of Koreatown is encompassing, and inside of that lies Little Bangladesh. So I think I live in Koreatown and Little Bangladesh. I don't think Little Bangladesh is like its own little nation inside of Koreatown.
How many times have you visited New York often at all? Really?
Never
Before?
Never have.
I've spent maybe a total of like 3 days in New York, and it's always been with a tour group of some sort, like a choir. But I'm fascinated by the fact that they call like their areas boroughs, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have boroughs here. Like, is that like a city planning thing on what to call areas of town?
I don't know. I don't know the history of it.
Yeah.
I bet there is definitely a history of it, though.
Probably. What is it they refer to? Is it aldermen? What do they in Chicago? They have like politicians that are like called by a different name than other towns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like someone probably knows out there. Is it alderman? What is it? It's like a different weird name. I don't know. Cities, man.
I don't know anything. If you got a question, ask someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know it.
If you got a question, call into this number. We'll give you the number to Red Band's home.
That'd be a
Google it
good
for you.
radio show as a
call-in radio for other people's place. Like, call in this other place.
or just being like, I don't know, man. I told you not to call.
The limited knowledge hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real.
We can only talk about whiskey drinks and video games.
Oh yeah. No, I have a larger knowledge than that. My knowledge is pretty specific though.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a farmer's market today, and I bumped into two people that I knew. And then
from the farmer's market, like
no,
farmer friends
from the comedy scene.
Okay.
Comedian and her fiance, I believe, or husband, I don't know. And I was just like, I just bought a bottle of Fernet. So they're like, what are you doing? And then I told them all about Fernet. And then we were both looking for lemons.
Yeah.
And they were like, these lemons are kind of green. And I told them why.
Yeah.
And that it was okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're weird.
Were they really? Oh, because every time I'm fascinated by the amount of knowledge you have and things, but you always deliver it with like passion. Like, you really get into specifics, and it's a little hard to keep up sometimes because you're so knowledgeable about the things that you're knowledgeable about.
Very specific things.
But at the same time, it's hard not to. Like I said, I don't know. I probably said it before, but even when, like, if you're about to serve, like, if you make a drink or something, you say, "No, this is what this drink is made of," and you explain, and you talk about the ritual of putting the drink together, and then you present it to me. Like, I lose all sense of whether the drink on my own, whether I could judge it as a good drink or not, because your passion transmits into me.
Yeah, there's something about I don't drink by myself that much, and part of it is because I enjoy kind of the ritual of people drinking together and having a good time.
Okay, I thought you meant that you have to have someone help you drink. Like,
No, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to just like get drunk by myself.
Yeah.
Like, part of the reason I drink is because everyone's having a good time, and it's like, it's shots. Taking shots is something that we don't really do that often, but shots.
You wouldn't do that by yourself usually, especially a body shot.
I mean, some people might, and some people the only reason they take shots is because they want to get drunk fast.
Yeah.
But for the most part, shots is a collective thing. It's like, here's to us, especially in like the food industry, bartenders and restaurant people are like, hey, I'll buy everyone a round of shots, and it's kind of like, here we are together, or farewell, or hello. It's a very social thing, you know. I'll buy a round of Jameson. Yeah. For me and my friends, it's totally not like, let's just have a drink and hang out. It's like it signifies something.
Yeah,
it's
celebratory. It's very, it's a big.
And drinking in general is the same way, and eating a lot of times. I totally obviously eat by myself.
Yeah, I eat by myself.
Yeah, but I love to go out and eat with people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's not true. Sometimes I just don't want to fucking be bothered.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to get fucking gravy in my beard and not worry about who's looking.
Oh, man.
It's really hot outside.
Mm-hmm. So if you hear a little bit of a whir.
Oh, yeah. There's
a whir sound. There's one fan going above us. Hopefully it's not going to distract you too much from your restful sleep.
Yeah. If it's, if you hear like a little bit of a buzzing, then that's your fault because you're dreaming this.
Yeah. You've got a little inner ear infection going on.
You just need to like dream clearer. Don't worry about the fans.
Brendon Walsh is on vacation in your diaphragm right now, so he couldn't make it up. to your ear canal for this podcast.
Diaphragm, like your body,
part of your body. Yeah,
not
the female
lady.
sexual contraception device.
Lady thing.
Not a lady thing. Not the lady lid.
I always buy when it's this hot out. I end up kind of impulse buying. Like last year, maybe it was 2 years ago. It was like the hottest night of the summer.
Yeah.
And I drove to a store and I bought 2 big box fans.
Yeah.
Like 2 big ones.
Yeah.
And then the next week it was back down to 60 degrees.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh.
Yeah, but you have those here.
Now I have them now, but at the time it seemed silly. And then today I bought a giant bag of ice that doesn't even fit in my freezer because it was $1 more. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll use it, but I don't have a place to put it. So I put part of it in a cooler.
Yeah.
That I don't plan to use.
Yeah.
And then the other part in a big jar because it'll melt and I'll have water.
Yeah. Yeah. Some good cold water for a while.
But then part of the reason that whole bag doesn't fit in my freezer is because I also bought a block of ice, which is like extra ice. And here's what I'm going to do tonight.
Yeah.
Because my room was so hot last night, I'm going to put the block of ice in my room.
Ice pillow.
No.
Okay.
That would be a wet pillow by then.
Okay.
I'm going to put, and I haven't looked into it, but I think this is what people used to do. Yeah. I'm going to put a block of ice, and then I'm going to put a fan behind it, and I'm going to blow the fan at the block of ice.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to hopefully make the air cold in my room.
What if this is my only concern?
Okay.
Elevate the cord of the fan somehow.
I'm not just gonna plop it on the carpet.
Well, when the floor gets wet, you're gonna put it in like a bucket, kind of.
I'll have to see what I'm gonna do. Yeah, there'll be a shallow pan for it, or I'll just put it in the cooler, and then I'll blow the fan at the cooler, and then the air will rise out of the cooler.
This is gonna be like This is gonna be like a scene in Final Destination where it's just like
as I'm sleeping, there's all these things clicking and happening.
Yeah, but it's like, you know how they try to fool you at the end. This is just like the most obvious death in Final Destination. It's like, well, yeah, of course that would happen.
Yeah.
Of course he would electrocute the entire room.
Well, man, I had 2 fans on last night. I was in the Bay Area for like a week, and it was like pretty hot. But at night, it stayed cool, and it felt all right. I was able to like even put a blanket on at one point. Yeah. Whereas my first night back, I'm just like, fuck, this is miserable. Like sweaty pillow time, you know, like the worst. And I don't have a windowsill to put a fan on.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to figure out how to like hang one with a rope. So it's hanging by my window. Like I need the air.
It just kept swinging around from blowing itself.
Yeah.
Like a little.
It's just like a little airplane.
Like
on
a little airplane on a string. Yeah. It's like the most dangerous airplane on a string.
And my bed's right by the window, so it's like I need the air from outside to be coming in at night, but I don't have a way of doing it. I thought about securing a fan outside the window.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. So this
bungee
is
cords, man.
As I was sleeping.
Invest in bungee cords.
Yeah. Or I could hire my neighbors that live upstairs just to hang one with a rope. Oh, yeah.
Okay. They sleep by the window. If they just hang their hand out there and duct tape it to their fingers or something.
How could we do that? Or if there's like magnets, like some sort of magnet thing.
Oh yeah, the mystery of polar north.
Or I could take both fans, one facing in my window, and the other one tilt it so it's parallel to the ground.
So it's like
a helicopter.
Yeah, so it's like blowing it up, like in a video game.
So it just holds it up.
Yeah, it floats there.
Well,
you have to put it on the perfect speed to make sure that it's right at your window.
Which is impossibly strong.
Yeah.
That's the perfect speed.
Yeah, the perfect speed is...
Well, I have a block of ice, so I'm going to try that tonight legit.
Cool, man. It's going to be
pretty awesome.
Report back with the results.
But that's the other thing. I'll wake up. Actually, I don't work tomorrow, but my main thing was like, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have like a weird shallow pan of water that I'm going to like ignore.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to add to my hoarding problem. People are going to be like, what's that mossy algae thing that you have?
All the mosquitoes hanging around.
Yeah. Oh,
you get very sick throughout the summer.
That was so I could get a good night's sleep once.
It's going to turn out like my goldfish story. It's just going to turn into something terrible and experimental.
Yeah. Or I could cure cancer somehow.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, penicillin was a mistake. People were like, that's...
I still think people probably still agree. Penicillin
was a mistake. Yeah. Pharmaceutical companies do.
Yeah. I'm drinking this delicious drink that tastes like cough drop.
It is really good. What is it? comprised of? You had this is from your jar of ice. Was that part of the jar of ice?
Jar of ice. Well, as I added all the ice to the jar so it would melt, and then I was like, well, don't want this to go to waste, so I started adding. I added lemons to it, a little bit of grapefruit juice.
Yeah.
And I added some mint leaves, and then I just let it melt. I have it right here. I'll pull it out.
For those of you watching live right now, wow, it says sun tea on it, so you know exactly what it's for. You're a sun tea man.
It doesn't have sun tea. That was a birthday gift a long time ago.
Oh man.
So then I strained that liquid into a glass with a little bit of whiskey and a little bit of Fernet.
Yeah.
But it really does taste like a cough drop. Like a delicious lemon and honey cough drop.
I don't mind. I've been clearing out. I had on Friday a summer cold, and then over the weekend and into today, I'm just still clearing it out. Like I don't know if it sounds terrible. It's not bad at all. It's nothing. It's just the end result of having had a cold on Friday.
Yeah.
But like, it actually feels good to me. It actually going down.
The string?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm addicted to Ricola, so
it really tastes like a Ricola.
Oh yeah, like Ricola. Yeah, that's how you would say it. Someone said Ricola.
That works too, I think. How do you know that game where you stack all the wooden blocks on top of each other?
Jenga?
Say it again?
Jenga.
Oh, how do you say that first?
Jenga?
I say Jenga.
You say Jenga?
This is for those of you listeners who think we're talking about something important.
This is us trying to figure out where we're wrong.
This is not important.
Yeah.
No, I was in the Bay Area with my girlfriend and her family.
Yeah.
And we started playing that game that we just spoke of.
Yeah.
And they were laughing at me because I kept saying Jenga.
Yeah.
And they kept saying Jenga. And I was laughing at them. And both of us were laughing at each other for the same opposite reason.
Yeah. But you have a much heartier laugh than they do, so it was almost equal.
Oh, yeah. I laughed them out the back door.
The laugh battle.
Yeah. I was like, you're sleeping outside. Ha, 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 ha. I puffed him out.
Oh, man.
But
puffed him out with laughter.
Yeah. And then I kept stacking like single blocks on top of each other to see how high I could go.
Yeah.
And I kept going, Jenga. Jenga. And they were laughing, and I was like, are you laughing because I'm doing such a cool thing? But it was at the very end I realized that they think I say it wrong.
Oh, man.
I also say a few other things wrong, but I can't, that's how I say them.
It's a regional thing or something.
A what thing?
A regional thing.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to confuse you with my stark Nebraskan accent.
Yeah. No, it's definitely regional.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you been? I haven't seen you in 5 days.
Pretty good.
Or 6 days or something.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good going at it. It
wasn't Emo Phillips was on the Tomorrow Show?
Emo Phillips was on the Tomorrow Show, and it was amazing. Like a large audience turned out for it.
That's
which,
cool.
I didn't know. Like I love Emo Phillips, and I know that he's beloved by people like me who are just kind of like fans of comedy, try to do comedy, and comedians.
Yeah. People who try to do comedy and comedians.
And also comedians who are successful at doing comedy. But for some reason, I've always kind of assumed that he was a pretty niche comedian kind of within that group of kind of like people who have a real appreciation for comedy. Like he's just beloved and kind of like a secret, you know.
I think kind of now he has a little bit.
And because he kind of was really big in like maybe the late 80s and into the 90s, you know. And he was on that movie UHF and stuff like that. But he's brilliant. He's always brilliant. He does that character perfectly. And a large audience turned out. And honestly, he brought out, because Ron Lynch, who hosts the show every week and puts us on there every week, he created the show. Mm-hmm. He knows Emo, but he's not like super good friends with him. Like when he started the show with Craig and Brendon, like they were so good because they've known each other for so long. They're all on the same wavelength, and they all like work off each other, and they know when to stand back and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of develop that with people when you're on stage together to be really good in clicking. And Ron wasn't on the same wavelength, but he just kind of rode the emo train.
Yeah.
And kept adding stuff in there and stuff, and it was hilarious. It was wonderful. It was the best. It was really fun to do. And I did a bit. I I asked Chris Walsh if he would help out with a bit. I did the old telephone gag of the telephone ringing and the thing.
Is Chris replacing me?
Chris is not replacing you. He actually was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, man.
Well,
I was like, listen, I won't tell Randy until the podcast. He'll feel a little weird about it.
How does Chris feel about replacing me?
Wait. Wait,
if I was cool with it.
Do you want to be? Are you trying to dissolve?
I'm not trying to dissolve anything, but what if I said I'm okay? For those of you listeners who don't know what we're talking about, Tomorrow's Show is a weekly show that Davey and I do every Saturday at midnight. We met there.
Yeah.
We've done it. Davey's been doing it for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for 4.5, 5.
Yeah.
And we perform there every week. We come up with a bit once we get there, generally. Sometimes we repeat, but very rarely. And I was out of town this week for the first time in a really long time.
Yeah, really. Ron was like, is this the first time he's ever been gone? And I couldn't I know you've been gone to like Portland, but we would still do stuff over like Skype or something together.
Yeah. It's
show.
Been a while since I've been completely gone.
Yeah.
But
so it's always a little strange.
How do you feel about Chris replacing me?
I don't feel very good about it.
You don't want Chris to replace me?
I don't want Chris to replace you, man.
But I mean, he did for that day, and how did it go? Went all right?
It went well, yeah. I mean, Chris and I have done stuff, like I've done stuff on he and his brother do a show called The Walsh Brothers Show.
Uh-huh.
And I've done stuff with them, and so I mean, we know how to react off of each other and how to make something funny and stuff together. But it wouldn't be the same, man. I mean, the stuff that we do is on an entirely different sort of...
Well, I know it wouldn't be the same, but maybe it would be better. Or equal and different. I know it wouldn't be the same because him and I are different people.
Yeah, you're different. You got different tastes and different... you got different backgrounds that you're bringing on knowledge of different things into the improv.
Our voices
and the gags
sound differently, audibly.
Yeah, his is very high. He's got a very womanly voice.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like I don't think I'd become. I mean, with that show, I'm pretty like. I don't know, man. Are you looking to? What do you think about someone else? Who would you like to work with that you wouldn't mind working with that wasn't me? And
I only want to work with you. Why are you
really?
trying? It sounds like you're trying to replace me.
I'm not trying to replace. I'm not trying.
So
now
you're trying to find me
a
different partner.
I'm just saying that.
It sounded like that you were like, well, I don't know, it would be different.
No,
who do you want to work with now that we're separated?
It's not like that at all. You know, when you're in a relationship and you play games with each other, where you're like, if we like,
oh, okay,
if you could find someone that would make you really happy, and it wasn't me, and you can be honest.
Okay.
Like, who would it be?
I don't know if people do that. Like,
when you play games,
they do who would, if you could fuck one person.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of couples
on your fuck list.
I don't know if a lot of couples are like, who would you rather be married to forever?
Yeah. If you're like, listen, if anyone else could make you much more happier than I could ever hope to.
Yeah. I did that.
Who would it be?
Sort of yesterday. I was
with Chelsea.
In a real weird parallel of that type of thing. My birthday is in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
which is weird. It came up very fast. I mean, exactly 1 year.
Yeah, it does seem fast though.
Yeah, but she's like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to have a naked lady jump out of my birthday cake." And she goes, "What?"
A tiny birthday cake, though. That's the catch.
Yeah. No, I said I want it to be I want a naked lady to jump out of a cake.
Yeah.
And I know that she wouldn't do that for me, so I said, "I want it to be you."
Here's the thing: like at a party or just for you?
Oh, I didn't get into that, but I meant at a party.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I want a naked lady. I want you to jump out of my birthday cake naked.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I don't want to do that. And I said, okay, well then I get to choose someone else. and then I kept diluting it more because she's like, well, who? And I was like, your mother. And she's like, no way. And I was like, okay. I know you're making it pretty hard for me. I'm gonna have to keep choosing. And I was like, your best friend.
Who's your best friend?
And she, I didn't know.
Okay.
I kind of know, but she goes, my friend Karen. And I go, yep. And she goes, she wouldn't do that. And I go, all right, Jessica Alba. Which
you were trying to get to Jessica Alba the whole time.
But if I asked, first thing, I want Jessica Alba to jump out of my birthday
you have to
naked.
slowly work into it, yeah. Yeah.
And I don't even know really what Jessica Alba looks like, but I know she's famous, and she would be,
I think she would look perfect.
She'd
coming
be
out of a birthday
very
cake
good.
naked.
Yeah, and she'd be a good draw too.
She would. Yeah, you get a lot of people at that party. The best, the way you set up the rest of your year is to have an awesome birthday party.
Yeah,
This is gonna be a terrible year.
My birthday party's a bringer.
Yeah, 2-drink minimum.
Everyone, if you want to come to my birthday party, you got to bring 3 people, and you have to sell tickets. Today, I did have a thought. I was like, what if I could do a money-making thing? Like, like how could I
sell tickets to your birthday?
Tickets? And then I was like, well, I could have it at the Tomorrow Show, but that never like. If you have a birthday party at a comedy show, people are like, it's not a birthday party, it's a comedy show.
Yeah, I did that for my 30th birthday, but it was because, like, it's just an easy place for people to gather. It's a fun time to do, and it's not like a birthday party. Actually, really, when I did it, it seemed like while it was going on, I got this guilt over me. I was like, this is like the most masturbatory thing anyone can do. You're up there and you're like, because also I hosted it. So that's like, if you're going to have a birthday show, don't host it. That's what I'll say to you.
Oh, really?
Because if you host it, then you're always coming out and you're like, hey, thanks so much. Like, it wasn't like that, but it was just like, we even did. Maybe that was like one of the first bits we did, because like I came out like jumping and stuff.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well,
if you're gonna have your birthday party at a show, that show was the format of a show to do it at, because it was so like loose and like whatever.
Yeah, it very often could be a disaster. It was a good show, but like it was a show. It was at a place, and it was part of this show that had been going on for years that had become kind of a disaster of a thing.
Oh yeah, it was like every week it was just something completely different.
And I was like, and part of it was like, I was at that show when it first started, and it was great. It was like really fucking great. There was a lot of acts. There's a lot of really good people that are now like doing really good things that people would like to name drop, that I would like to name drop, but I won't. And then it kind of like transformed, and so part of me was like, I remember when this show was really good, and now it's like kind of going into disaster zone, and I want to do a really good show just to try to motivate the person who puts it together to be like, see, it can be a really good show,
Yeah, that was when I first moved to town.
Man.
I would go to that show and just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I would get booked on it to do really weird stuff, and I would just like create something out of nowhere when I wasn't a confident comedian yet, where I was just like, I'm going to create something out of the blue unlike anything I've ever created, and I'm going to perform it word for word, so it has no life in it. I did something really weird there that just was a disaster.
That was the place to do it, man. It was part of experimentation.
That's the first time I saw Johnny was at that show too.
Oh yeah,
Johnny Pemberton.
Yeah.
If you don't know Johnny Pemberton, he's very funny. He's in a lot of movies right now, and he has his own podcast called Twisting the Wind.
Through Feral Audio.
Oh man, it cracks me up. I was listening to it the other day.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it.
I was listening to it on a plane. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's a silly guy.
He's really funny.
He's a very silly guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. So you've been good.
Yeah, I've been good. I don't know if people should I announce about.
It's up to you, man.
Maybe we'll save that for the Bone Zone proper.
Davey's dying.
I mean, I didn't want to.
Maybe I'll save that. Well, I don't know how many days you have left. What if we? No.
The doctor. That'd be stupid to kill someone off.
Yeah, I think that's immature to do that.
Yeah. No, man, I'm just sick. I've got hope of getting better.
Yeah. You're sick, like on a pair of rollerblades.
Yeah,
you got
I'm
some
like
sick shit.
Man. I found out the other day.
You found out the other day that you're sick as shit?
I'm sick on fruit booters.
On blades?
I took back the term fruit booter for the rollerblader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it back.
I'm a sick fruit booter, man. I went down to Venice. I was on the boardwalk. Listen, it's hard because that walk is made of boards.
Yeah.
And you got your rollerblades going the whole time.
Yeah.
There's only one other blader on the boards, and it's that guy, that like really muscly black guy that wears the Speedo.
Oh yeah,
and, like
he's always got like a metallic ball.
Yeah, he's always like spinning a metallic ball and stuff like that. But if you get near him, he asks for $1, no matter if you want to take a picture or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I was giving out dollars.
Oh shit.
Riding down the boardwalk, making it rain. People are like, sick, brah.
A homeless person who has a little jar of dollar bills, and it's just like, would you like $1? Excuse me, don't mean to bother you. Would you like $1?
Change, mister, and he holds out.
Would you
change.
like some change?
Yeah.
Get a job. I don't need a job. I'm independently wealthy.
Yeah. Haven't had a job for 20 years. I made $1 billion inventing the Apple computer. It's a computer made of apples.
The Apple computer.
Yeah. It's run on absolutely no energy except for Apple energy.
Yeah.
The juice is in your apple.
Yeah, I was about to say.
An apple a day keeps the computer at bay. It gets angry and kills you if you don't.
Is there a joke in there that don't you hate that guy Michael Bay?
Michael Bay? I was talking about him yesterday. I saw this guy walking down. We were shooting some What's What yesterday, and we went to lunch, and it's off of Ventura Boulevard, and there was a guy walking down that honestly looked like he was either trying to be Tom Petty or Michael Bay. Like they both have the same sort of like hairstyle.
Those two guys look alike?
Kind of outdated hairstyle. Yeah. Well, I mean like hairstyle-wise and kind of in build.
Yeah. What's your favorite Tom Petty song?
Tom Petty song? Oh, I don't know music.
You want to know my favorite Tom Petty song?
Did he do that Annie Got a Gun?
No, and it's not Annie Got a Gun.
Who's
Janie.
Janie Got a Gun.
Who did Janie Got a Gun? That's
Janie
Aerosmith.
What? Did they really?
Aerosmith.
And it goes, boom, boom, Janie got a gun.
Yeah.
Well, what? No, what's the Tom? I don't know Tom Petty. What? No, what? Wait.
Tom Petty do Annie get your gun.
No, here's the... And you know this about me. I know so little about music as far as relating who did what and whatever because of my terrible, tragic upbringing.
You're poor. Yeah.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go into my tragic upbringing. But like, people honestly in like growing up and into high school and stuff, like we'd be walking through a mall or something with friends, and some Beatles song would come on. Mm-hmm. I know the Beatles, but some.
Wait, you know the Beatles?
Yeah, man. Well, the surviving ones.
So you know Paul.
I know Paul
and Django
Reinhardt. Paul and Django Reinhardt.
Yeah.
No, but like some song by someone popular would come on and be like, "Ah, this is a great song. Hey, Dave, who did this song?" And I of course would not know.
He'd be like, Hootie and the Blowfish. They're my favorite.
Yeah. I called him Pootie and
All
the Hofish.
All you need is love. Yeah. Hootie and the Blowfish.
It's stupid. Yeah, so I know absolutely zero.
I don't know a ton. You know, there's definitely big holes in what I know.
I know weird obscure stuff maybe. Yeah. Like that maybe some other people wouldn't know. I kind of skipped past a lot of things that everyone knows and went right to the stuff. What by weird obscure I mean just bands no one would care about. I went right to that.
Yeah, I didn't. I owned a few CDs when I was younger. We did find like a big envelope of CDs in the middle of a field one time, and that helped direct like what I listened to.
Really?
Like, yeah, check it out, these free CDs, and they were all like
Smash Mouth and Bare Naked Ladies.
No, it was before that. I was in elementary school. My brother found it, but so there was some stuff that like neither of us would have ever bought.
Yeah.
Like John Cicada. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah.
Oh man, and we would like
rock out to Cicada.
Oh, we would, man.
Rock out with your Cicada.
Is his name John Cicada?
I think it is. Oh, now this is going to show that I don't know who it is. Just look up Cicada.
Yeah, John J. This is the song.
Put H in.
This is the song that I remember like really liking.
He plays good fuck music, man. Fucking Cicada. Tonight I'm fucking to Cicada.
I don't think I've listened to this since then.
Promise me that for your birthday, when you and Chelsea are finally like cleaning up after the party, put this on and just start getting your fuck on, man.
Oh man, this song is good.
Like you're both gonna be covered in like cake.
Oh, lyrics.
Hooties and Blowfish.
I'm gonna speed up till it gets funkier. Sucks.
Give me a reason, 'cause I
Oh yeah. I don't want another day. Oh wait, another way. Just nope. I don't know the words. Wait. Here comes a good part. Just kidding.
Oh.
That takes me back though.
I love listening to your inspirations, man.
No, you
it
don't.
like helps put me inside your mind, dude.
I just remember we had a CD player, that was like...
Yeah. I've heard.
Well, yeah, but it was like, it was as big as a DVD player.
Yeah.
And it was hooked up with the stereo.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to listen to music, you basically fucking sat on the carpet.
Oh, man.
And listened to CDs.
My family didn't have a CD player for a long time. And the first CD player we got was this one, like, my family got so excited that I was getting good grades because my sister never did. And she was like the black sheep, and my whole, like, kind of, like, not wanting to rock the boat and be a good student and a good son to my family was as a reaction to her. And
she was adopted and she was black. So that's why
yeah.
you also called her the black sheep.
Yeah, yeah.
And she had nappy roots.
Yeah, also. Also because she liked to fuck farmers. We called her the black sheep.
Yeah.
But like they were like, when I brought home like whatever like final grades for the year or something, like it was like all A's or something, and they were like, oh, we gotta reward him. Like they wanted to inspire me to continue, and so they bought me like this like little boomboxy CD player. And I bought my first album was a Weird Al album, the one with Jurassic Park. I think it's Alapalooza.
Yeah, I had that. I think that was the only Weird Al album that I ever bought.
Yeah. Oh, I bought so many Weird Al albums, man. Just kind of out of. He's good. It's weird when you listen to Weird Al. It's nice that Weird Al's had this resurgence because a lot of alt comics for a long time were making fun of Weird Al, like whenever Weird Al came up, but. Then, like 2 years ago, he started making appearances on like the Comedy Bang Bang podcast, then Comedy Death Ray, and now like people who were making fun of him, it's like you find out they had this intense love for him and they love hanging out with him, and he's like just got this like he's been embraced by the people who used to like do jokes kind of at his expense. He's awesome. Like I've always loved him, and I'm like I'm one of everybody who loved Weird Al and continues to love Weird Al, where it's like you defend him by being like, no, he's a great singer. Like people were always like, if he did legitimate music, he would be like a rock star because his like octave range is
he has
amazing.
A very specific sounding voice. It's almost robotic. Like when he harmonizes with himself, it sounds computerized.
Yeah, but it's not, man. That's him having like perfect pitch.
No, I know. I bought one of his CDs and thought it was funny. Yeah. But I will admit that I was never a huge fan of his. Yeah. And especially right now, all these people are like being obsessive over him and being like, I always loved him, and maybe they did. But it's weird. I think it's maybe just because he's accessible.
Yeah, and maybe also because he'll do things because he does fall into that. Someone once made a joke that he's like, I take this regular song and I make it about food, because like most of his songs are just about like eating like a sandwich that's made out of something weird or something, and then he talks about building the sandwich. That's true. He's got a definite kind of like a structure that he's built into how he makes a song. But when they see him just do trying to do something different with them, and he's willing to do it, like it probably just blows their mind. It's like, he is awesome,
The thing that I think is cool is he was someone who it wasn't. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I like this, and I liked it with my friends at a certain age. But once you were a certain age, it wasn't like cool to admit that you listened to Weird Al or ever did.
It's clean and kind of Mormon-y when you listen to it.
Well, it's cheesy, silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so it's kind of cool that like people are like, I love Weird Al, and they're not like ashamed of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty cheesy.
I
saw him play at a fair.
Yeah. I saw him play at a fair. I got him to autograph a picture that I drew of him.
Really?
Yeah. It's the back of my house. It's so weird. He does
cool.
great. He like puts on the fat suit from Fat. Yeah, he like does like 18 costume changes. It's a good show.
My roommate, one of my roommates in college, his dad was a bass player, and maybe I've talked about it before, but the main thing he did, he was the bass player in Rick Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Who is it? Since you're our in-house music expert, who's Rick Springfield?
Oh, it's Bruce Springsteen's brother.
No, he did.
They share the same first part of the last name. And he got a gun.
You son of a
And
bitch.
he got a gun.
Jesse's Girl.
They play the song in Boogie Nights during the big firecracker
Do they?
coke exchange gunfight scene. Yeah.
Well,
Make her mine.
and she's watching him with those eyes. Well, anyways,
Love that song.
my roommate's father was the bass player in this song,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually left the band. And then after that, he was he played with like Tina Turner.
Yeah.
This name, not Tina Turner, when she was brand new,
Yeah.
but like Tina Turner when she was doing fairs.
Yeah.
And the same as Weird Al. Played with Weird Al.
Wow.
And
He's on the fair circuit.
yeah, and then now he doesn't play
Yeah.
with anybody. He just lives in
Oh.
Idaho somewhere. But he would go to bed early and we would be partying
Mm-hmm.
and we would play Rick Springfield,
Yeah.
Jesse's Girl.
just to piss him off.
And we'd be like, "Hey Nick, your dad's out here!" And we would pound the bass line into his wall. And then also he his dad really liked Toto.
Yeah.
You know Toto?
I can't name their song, but I know them from those television commercials that have 80s compilations.
Who was Toto sing?
Africa.
Yeah, this is a song called Africa. It's probably their most recognizable.
Africa, right? Da, 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 da.
And he's got a
gun.
And then
Toto and Tom Petty. It stands for Tom Petty and Tom Bosley from Happy Days.
And then my favorite one is this one. This song is so good. Oh, here comes an ad.
Uh-oh.
Maybe not. Oh, this song is so good. But his dad really liked this band, and so we would also play this band. I don't know why it's not playing anymore. But and we would pound the bass line, and we'd be like, "Your dad's out here," and
Yeah.
he'd always think that we thought his dad played in Toto, and he'd wake up and be like, "My dad wasn't in Toto. He just really liked Toto," and we'd be like, "Oh," and then the next night we'd be like,
You do it again.
"Your dad's out here. Your dad was in Toto." And we used to, he had a bottle of Bacardi rum. He didn't drink that
Yeah.
much, and he kept it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And one of our other roommates would always drink out of it and then refill it with water.
Yeah.
And then put it back in the freezer. And then eventually the whole thing just started freezing because it was mostly water. And he's
Yeah.
like, "I didn't know rum froze." And we're like, "Yeah, you must have got a bad batch."
Bad batch of rum.
Well, yeah, it sounds like we were bullying him, but he was kind of a bully.
You were just getting back for all the other people that were bullied by him.
Yeah, he had a big fish tank with like these big like African fish in it,
Yeah.
and this other guy would like his whole goal every night was to get a Corona bottle in the fish tank at the bottom, like it was sunken treasure.
I did that one time. I didn't drink in college, but I did that one time at a party. I found an empty Corona bottle. I went and I washed it out and everything, and then I put it in a fish tank. So then it went down, and the guy got so mad.
Yeah,
he ended the party. He was like, "The Corona's gonna kill the fish," and then I didn't want to admit it.
Probably
because,
true.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to admit it. But I wanted to be like, well, I cleaned it all out. It's like fine, nothing's gonna happen. It's just glass, and got more glass. But I didn't admit the thing. I should have stood up for everybody else because. I was the one person he didn't blame because I didn't drink.
You're a jerk, though.
I know. I'm a huge jerk. I didn't drink. I've become less of a jerk since I have started drinking.
Do you ever do anything crazy besides that last blunder?
Yeah.
At a party, you ever do like a crazy thing at a party?
Oh, I pissed in someone's hair gel. Yeah.
I think we did talk about
just
that.
a little bit.
You pissed just a little bit in someone's hair gel. But it was because you got so scared and you happened to have your dick in their hair gel.
Yeah, I did. I was like, ah! Yeah. Well, he asked me to. I lost a bet. Basically, he lost after I lost the bet. No, did you ever... I'm trying to think of anything. I don't know. I was constantly refusing things that people thought I should do. I thought it'd be crazy to refuse, like, I'd be at a party. I was a theater major, so you'd have theater parties, and there's a lot of like kind of incestuous sort of like, not in the literal term of incest, but like just kind of like interdepartmental relationshipy like orgy stuff going on because people just are horny, want to hook up, and they have no confidence, so they'll hook up with people in their theater group. But so there'd be a lot of like spin the bodily sort of like truth or dare sort of game.
Spin the bodily functions.
Spin the bodily functions. Yeah, we'd spin this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And
whoever she spit diarrhea at.
Yeah, she would spit either diarrhea or vomit. It depended. Like nobody knew what they were gonna get hit with.
That's cool.
No, but it like they'd always be like, I dare you two girls at the same time to hang out with Davey. And then I'd be like, oh no, and they'd be two girls that everyone knew that I liked or something. I'd be like, no. And then they'd come over and like they'd both like be like trying to like tongue me and stuff like that. And I'd be like, I thought it was funny to refuse stuff as opposed to do anything like really crazy. I don't know. I'm super lesson learned.
You're super
boring. Super boring.
I didn't have too many. I remember going to some party where they were doing a spin the bottle type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was very uncomfortable for me because I didn't know anybody. Maybe it would be more uncomfortable if I did know everybody, though. I did some weird stuff at people's parties in college, though. Because, like, for the most part, you don't know the person's house that you're at.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, well, going through your fridge.
Yeah. I did do, now that thinking about it, in a spin the bottle thing, I did do a thing where I spun the bottle and it landed on a sofa cushion. It basically like landed between people, and I went in for 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
Davey!
Acted like basically made out with a sofa cushion. I just refused to stop.
30 minutes!
I refused to stop because I was just like, no, we spun the bottle and she's into it. Like I kept on like forcing people off, and they're like, oh, that's so crazy.
Davey.
Yeah. I like to kind of, I really like kind of creeping people out. One time I went to a party dressed as a member of a certain religious group that is also a science group and also a philosophical group of people. It's a rather new religion started by one man who was a writer. I'm not going to say which one, but I went to the party dressed as somebody from that certain religion / science organization / philosophical group. And didn't drop character the whole time and creeped everyone out the whole time. Like I went and I didn't blink. I was just kind of staring forward. And just started spewing axioms out at people. Yeah.
As Jesus?
Well, I didn't want to go into specifics.
Sounds like you dressed up like a Jesus.
I dressed up as a Jesus. Had hair back then. Yeah, man. I love dressing up like a Jesus.
Like a Jesus?
I go to parties, knock on the door and say, do you mind letting me in?
People do that. That's a college thing. I don't know, maybe not at a Christian college, but people, shock factor.
Yeah.
Which, like, to us, it wouldn't be a shock factor.
Yeah.
But back then, there's probably people that you still could offend.
No place is more easily, no place is easier to shock than a college. I find there's so many people who are, when you're in college, you're so dedicated to, like a political belief maybe, or like some sort of like politically correct sort of attitude that you can say something that's perfectly innocent that pushes the button a little bit and it's just a joke or something, and you can go far. You can really offend people. I've heard
that's when everyone's still trying to figure out what racist is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
what racist is, what sexist is.
I'm surrounded by comedians, so we all kind of like
everything
understand
drops,
how to tell if someone's a real racist or not.
Yeah.
But
all walls are dropped and everyone.
It was such a fucking witch hunt.
Mm-hmm.
You say anything, you just say something about how there's rice for dinner.
Yeah.
And now you got, black people mad at you.
Yeah. Why you gotta say rice?
Whoa.
See, now that probably pissed off a lot of people just doing that. Samoans. I went to Nebraska Wesleyan University, and there's a lot of Wesleyan universities around. They're all little private schools, same organization. But that movie PCU, that's all about like the college breaking down underneath how PC everybody's trying to be. It's like a comedy. David Spade was based on the writer of that went to one of the Wesleyan universities and wrote it based on his university, and that's exactly what it was. Like anything you could ever say, you always had to like kind of double check yourself because you'd be like, who am I talking to? What exactly do they? I don't want to offend and get this group of people.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, there was also a huge number of students who were just like complete assholes and were like idiots who didn't respect, certain things or had like
there's a bunch of fucking college kids are shitheads.
College kids are kind of shitheads.
Well, obviously,
and a lot of
they grow into something else, or they aren't shitheads.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. Like go back to your college and try to hang out with those people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, there's some people
like
that
tomorrow,
are cool.
You want me to actually do
like
it?
all of our college listeners are probably all very cool.
I mean, if you're listening to this, obviously you've got
but I
impeccable taste.
I think about it sometimes
adult.
where I'm like, man, college was so fun, and then I haven't done this in a long time, but I remember one time I was thinking that, and I was like, I wonder what it's like there now, and I would like. Well, like YouTube wasn't that popular back then, so I'll search like my college on YouTube and just be like, look at all these fucking jerks.
Yeah.
Like every single and every college is different. I went to a college in a very, very small town in the middle of nowhere, and everyone was fucking whatever. It was an agriculture school, and it was in the middle of the wheat fields. So like everyone is fairly specific, and by that I mean white. Yeah. Very white and cargo shortsy. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with cargo shorts, man.
No, man, they're the perfect Dave Matthews Band clothes. Which
and it gotta go. Hootie and the Blowfish.
Dude, don't yell so much.
Oh, sorry about that.
No,
I just wanted to impress you that I actually know Dave Matthews Band.
I know, but I'm gonna have
the second CD that I bought. Crash into me, Hootie. Yeah.
I went to Dave Matthews Band concerts.
I've never been to one. He never came to my school, and he went to every college.
No, he doesn't.
That was
really
his
do
mission,
colleges.
Right? Well, back then.
No, he did like.
No, back then he did.
Well, maybe he played at some colleges, but I mean, when I was in college, when I was in high school, even that's when you would have been in college. He just plays like big venues, and then college people would come see it, which I still think is happening. His song was like last year for college football. Like they used his song almost exclusively for like college football.
Which song did they use?
A new one that I never heard of or listened to.
Are you ready for some football?
No, that wasn't it. That'd be NFL, which his market is college kids. I just thought it was funny because it was like, so obviously college oriented his music, and now it's associated with NCAA football. The NCAA PP.
My Dave Matthews sounds like Jimmy Fallon's Dave Matthews.
It sounds like Jimmy Fallon's every impression.
Jimmy Fallon's impressions of how musicians talk. They talk like how they sing in his impressions. So Dave Matthews talk like this. What do we got here? Randy's searching something.
This is a song about a college rite of passage. Something we've all done after a wild night of drinking. You know who you are. You might not be proud of it.
They were all cheering for one man who knew who he was.
But it happens to the best of us.
I don't know what this is.
The song is called The Walk of Shame.
Huh. He did this at my college. Did I tell that story in the podcast?
He did do this at your college?
He did this song in my college. Like in 98, 99.
Really? This is on his album that just came out.
Yeah, well,
featuring Dave Matthews, this song.
Oh.
That's why I just...
Well, he probably updated it for Dave Matthews to come on.
I searched Jimmy Fallon, Dave Matthews.
But he did talk... This is part of the... Did I tell this story on the podcast about Jimmy Fallon coming to my college?
Yeah.
I told the part where he started playing the guitar and he got kind of frustrated and he was like I forget what he yelled at the guy, but he basically got kind of snippy with the guy who gave him the guitar or who let the college borrow the guitar, because it was in his contract to have a certain type of guitar. And he did something that was kind of like trying to handle a heckler, and it was all right, and it came off okay. But in my mind, I was like, oh, he got kind of snippy because the thing I told him, like, I thought information I gave him led him to be frustrated. It did. Because he tried to do jokes incorporating stuff that I told him on the ride from the hotel. I drove, for people who haven't heard the story, I drove Jimmy Fallon from his hotel to my college, and he asked questions about, like, local things, local bars, local, like, happenings, and I didn't know that much because I was such a student that I was focused on studies. I didn't know that much about actual things outside the college, and so I gave him all this improvised false information, and so when he tried to incorporate that into his act, he'd be like, so I was hanging out at the Brass Rail bar the other day, and like nobody would get it or laugh because like it wasn't a thing that existed in my college town. So I would be the only one laughing really hard because I knew that he was saying something that no one actually got.
Well, you're the only one who gets his comedy, too.
I'm the only one who gets Jimmy Fallon's comedy. No, and so he got frustrated, and he was trying to play the guitar, and he like was tuning up, and someone said a snarky comment. Someone said, "Careful." Because it was the guy's guitar, the guy in the front row. It was his guitar he allowed the college to borrow for Jimmy Fallon to play, and Jimmy Fallon said some sort of snarky comment back to him. It played off well, but in my mind, I was like, oh man, he's like just frustrated from jokes bombing just recently, and then he played the song because the song he was going to play, he was talking about the Walk of Shame, and then he played the Walk of Shame song.
Really? So that song is like super old.
Well, I mean. He's been busy with a lot of stuff since then, and he kind of got... I think he's talked on other podcasts about how he had maybe 30 minutes of material or something like that, an hour of material, and that's kind of what... Like, he did that for years and years and years.
Yeah. That's kind of what a lot of people
He came with... Like, a lot of people talk about him doing a troll doll routine. He'd bring out a troll doll and do, like, advertisements or pitches for the troll doll as different people doing impressions. He was doing impressions. He was doing impressions of different people doing impressions. He was very meta.
I remember at one point when I was in college, I thought he was very funny.
Yeah, he's.
But like, it was literally at one point.
Yeah,
it was like a week, and I thought he was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, was it his loosey goosey attitude towards?
I don't know what it was. I thought he was funny.
His cocksuredness.
He hosted one of the MTV Awards, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. Oh, classic. Glad he's doing it. He's the funniest.
Did he host with anyone? Did he host with Kirsten Dunst? Was that the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who I've seen in the flesh, in the very pale, light blue, greenish flesh. She just looks like a tortilla. Yeah. She just looks like a...
Every time her heart beats, you can see all of her veins kind of puff out at once.
My friend who, out of nowhere, we were talking about her, and she was like, she just looks like wet bread. And I was like, what do you mean? And then she came into where we work, and then she left, and she just goes, wet bread. And I was like, you're right.
Kirsten Dunst is wet bread.
She looks like wet bread. And this is a black girl who said that, so I just accused her of being like, stereotypically racist. She was trying to call her white bread.
Yeah.
But she kind of does. She looks like she's sick, and she's sweating very cold.
She got cold sweats?
Yeah, and that she's wearing a blanket, but her face still is very chilly. Or something like that. Yeah. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't got no business being in her business.
Yeah, she just came in once.
Let Kirsten Dunst be Kirsten Dunst. You be you.
The guy that she was sort of dating comes in a lot, though. He's super cool.
Oh, man.
He's a musician.
You want to be that guy, right?
I want to be a musician.
I wish that I had this. I want to learn how to play guitar. It's like a regret. Regrets, man. What do you have?
Well...
Stuff you wanted to do, but you never did.
Oh, I don't know.
Really?
What's it?
You're
a regret?
You're a go-getter. Like for instance,
you wanted to play guitar.
Music-wise, I regret having not learned how to play the guitar, the violin, or the accordion.
Well, I mean,
I know
you
we
still
we
could
still
do that.
could do it.
So
Yeah.
that means that you'll never do it
This is
because you've
no,
already you've given up.
It's not.
You've given up.
It's up
Maybe
till
that's
now.
maybe that's why I don't have any regrets because I haven't given up yet.
No, I
You're
haven't
a little
given
bit
up.
older than
No,
me.
this
So that's
isn't-
maybe what you're
No,
talking about.
this
You're a
isn't.
little older than me.
This is an up till now regret.
You've given up on your life already.
There can still
and
be
I'm
redemption.
Like, I still see the
There
sun.
can still be redemption. I could change the word regret to redemption. I could still keep a couple of the letters. It's not that hard.
Well, I'm the one editing this audio file, so I don't think you can.
You're gonna edit this part out?
No. I'll keep it, and that's why, unless you were editing it, you could change the word of regret to redemption.
Probably if I edited it, I would have just ended with regrets. I would have just said, never learned how to play guitar, regrets, and then gone to an awesome vibe, sort of like
a dream sequence.
Like a dream sequence.
Well, I just feel like
I would've-
part of the reason that you have regrets is because you're on your last page. Not even last chapter. You're on your last page because you're so old. And me, I'm like a giraffe still, a young baby giraffe that's drinking out of a river.
I thought you said draft. I was like, yeah, you're a rough draft, and you still have a lot of punch ups to go through, and you're gonna be a big, beautiful novel.
No, I have a lot of I'll probably go through. I'll probably lose all the weight, gain it back, lose all the weight, gain it back.
You got so
Lose
many
all the weight.
cycles to look forward to.
I have a lot of cycles still. And
Yeah.
each one of those lose the weight, gain it back gets harder and harder because I get a little bit older. But you're on your last gain the weight, lose it.
The weight, yeah.
Yeah, you've just lost it. And now you're going to be skinny.
I'm going to continue to lose it because once I die,
Yeah.
I just keep losing.
Because now you're a skinny old man. You got 2 more years until you're a skinny, really old man.
Oh, yeah, man.
And you got a little tiny dog.
Oh, I thought you said dong.
No,
A little tiny dong.
No, that's just one of your regrets that you never
That's
got.
my regret.
You
I
never
never
had a bigger dong.
I never bought into the bigger dong.
You have a little yappy dog, don't you?
Yeah, just a tiny one.
You have a little tiny yappy dog.
I used to be able to carry him around in a tiny little carrier, but now that's too heavy for me, so he just follows me around. He just follows me around, yapping, nipping at my ankle. Shut up!
What's his name?
What?
What's his name?
Reginald.
Oh, it's regional.
Oh yeah, Reginald. Reginald!
Oh, Reginald.
Reginald, I'll get you your sausage. Here, fine, I'll give him a sausage.
Did you rescue him?
I have to bring him from a fire.
From a fire?
Yeah.
Not even from the
Yeah.
shelter?
I mean, the family survived, but I ran off with him. Reginald, I'm cutting up your sausage.
So you rescued him from a shelter fire? Like it wasn't an animal shelter?
No, it wasn't. It was a homeless shelter. There's a family living there. The kids cried because they saw me running off with them.
That's weird.
Hey, man, when you see something you like, you got to take it. This is America. You have to reach for opportunity.
How many dogs do you plan to have? Before you die? You gonna get a few more?
I'm going to get 2 more, then make 5.
So you have 3 dogs?
Yeah. Reginald, sorry.
Reginald.
Wallace.
Uh-huh.
And Wilder.
Wilder?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Van?
I named him after Gene Wilder. But what if we did a movie called National Lampoon's Gene Wilder?
National Lampoon's Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
That's great. Starring Stifler.
Yeah, Stifler. It's all about the stiff.
Oh.
The rise of stiff.
Yeah. National Lampoon's Gene Wilder.
What if we do National Harpoons? It's a very serious organization for serious films.
National Harpoons.
Yeah.
Stifler's cousin.
Yeah. Stifler's cousin. Stifler's more serious, grounded cousin.
Oh man.
I'm not going to go to that party. I've got finals next week. Are you kidding me?
Oh man.
That's Stifler's cousin.
Stifler's cousin.
Biffler.
I've never even met my cousin Stifler.
Yeah. Why do you always compare me to... Just because they made a character in a film about him...
Yeah. What about that?
Starring him...
And they have the redhead guy too, right?
Who's the redheaded guy?
The guy who never gets laid or whatever. The redhead guy. Stifler would always pick on him.
I don't... Wait, is he the guy who hooks up... makes Natasha Lyonne's character?
Well, I don't know. He's the redhead guy.
The redheaded guy never gets laid.
He's He's ugly.